This is day 4 of the art project in the technology lab, and this is where we left off on day 3, where you had your background picture from the magazine, you traced an object, you filled it, you have the picture of your artist, you have the artist's name, and a quote. That's where we left off on day 3. Now you're going to finalize your project, which actually ends up turning into being a poster about this artist. And what I've decided to do, because I'm going to add more information, which is the information you have in your notes, and in order to put more information on here, I need to move some things around and resize them. The picture of Franz Marc, I'm going to move it up a little bit, and I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to move his name up higher, because with it being a poster, I think his name should be up at the top of the poster so it's noticeable. But now because it's black, you can't really see it. So I'm going to change the color, and to do that I'm going to go make sure that I have my text box, that I'm working with my text tool in the inspector. I'm going to change the color. I'm going to go to the crayon box, that's my favorite one to use, and I'm going to pick a light blue and click away from it, and it shows up pretty good. I'm going to scoot it down just a little bit so it's all in the darker area and get it just right, and I like that. I'm going to go ahead also and add the date that he was born and died. So I'm making my text box bigger, click after his name, and type in the dates, which is 1880 to 1916. And I typed it in, but it's not showing up because my text box is still too small. So I'm going to make it just a little bit bigger. And now I'm going to move that down. I don't think the date needs to be quite as big as his name, so I'm going to go up to the size and go down just a little bit. Click away from it. I like for some things to be centered, so whoop, get it undo, didn't mean to do that. Okay, I'm going to, there we go, scoot it over and center it. And then I've got his picture. I'm going to make it still just a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to use one of the techniques for a framing, and so I go to the shape and the stroke, and I'm going to go picture frame, and I'm going to try this fuzzy one. Yeah, I really like the way that looks. It kind of makes his picture look like he's actually a part of the painting instead of something that is just stuck on there. So then the next thing I'm going to put on there is just some of the information from the notes. So I'm going to go for another text box, and I'm going to scoot it right up here. I'm going to do some typing in this light area, and I'm going to use the same font that I used for this typing, and I've forgotten what it is. So to find that, I'm going to click on there, and I know it's this word right here, and I'm going to find that one again. There it is. Okay, I'll make it a little bit bigger so it shows up. That's maybe too big. Go to the 18. Okay, I like that size, and I'm going to type some of the information I had from my notes, and that is that Marc imagines the world as animals see it. On the notes that you guys have, you don't necessarily need to write word for word what is in the magazine, or word for word from your notes. You can change, you can leave out a few words, you can change the words a little bit, as long as the meaning is the same, because you don't always want to copy things exactly unless it is a quote. That's really, you need to write things in your own words. And see how I can fit these words kind of in this light area of the poster? I'm going to go with colored letters, so I'm going to go back to the text, click on the black, and let's see, because that color's kind of like the background, and I like that. So that's a little bit of wording then that goes along with the picture. And I think I want to do one more thing from my notes. There's still some room in the poster. You don't want the poster to get too crowded, but you want it to look like it's full, just right, and has enough information to give a good idea about this artist. Now I'm just scooting this up for now to get it out of the way because I don't know how much room this is going to take up. I'm going to choose again the same text that I have used before, and now it's up at the top because I've used it. Go to a bigger size. I'm going to try the 24 again. Okay, and this is rather long what I'm typing in here now. And you also don't always have to use their first and their last name. You can choose whether you want to use their first or their last name when you're typing things. It's okay to use both, but you can also use either. Mark believed an artist could capture truths than, let's put that one on, than a camera. He wanted to show the unseen world of thoughts and emotions, and used the power of color to express ideas and emotions. Okay, so that's a lot of words, and because the lettering is on top of a lot of different colors here, light, dark, it might be hard to do all one color for the words. So you've got a couple of choices here. I could highlight the words or the parts of the words that are on the dark area, and I could actually just lighten those up and click on the color and pick that light blue again. Okay, I could do that. That just looks kind of weird, but might keep doing it just to see what happens. That might work, and could maybe do a different blue for that. Yeah, I'm not really liking that. It might work, but I don't really like that a whole lot. I'm going to make the whole thing the light blue and see how that works. Okay, if I move that over, okay, see, so now I can see the blue words on top of the blue horse, and this is kind of close to the edge of the paper, but I think it just might work. And that up there. This word right here is the only one that's maybe a little hard to see, so let me scoot that down. There we go. Okay, so right here, it's hard to see the word to. Back up to here. I think this will be fine. Unseen world, okay. And of, can see it not real well, but it's not too bad. Right here, the of color, that's the hardest part to see. So I'm going to click my mouse right there after the word power, and I'm going to use my space bar to just scoot these words over. And then I'm going to click here after color, and I'm going to scoot those words over. Okay, and I think that makes it fairly easy to read. I might change this and scoot the of over a little bit, which would change this a little bit, but I think that works. I think that's easy enough to see. Then the last thing is to work with this quote and try to make it fit in here and not crowd what else I've done, but still make it so it is readable. So what I probably need to do is move some of these words around, and so I'm going to click after the word more, and I'm going to move that down and click here because idea, I kind of want the whole quote to be on the horse. Get that there. Okay, the only word that's really kind of hard to see is the is. So I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to do that one thing. I'm going to make it light blue, and I'm going to make that first word bigger, just so that it's noticed more, kind of like the way they do in fairy tales. And I think I like that. And I think this can be done. So I've added more information from the notes. I've given you something that tells how he paints or what his work looks like, or why he does it. He imagines the world as animals see it. These are at the bottom, these are things he believes and why he wanted to paint the way that he did. And that's some good information, and once you get some of that on, your poster can be done.